This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast. It's about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim. Tom,
Tim?
tighten it up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I just don't like the way...
Tight as a drum.
Tight as a snare drum that is...
That's the snare drum. That's how tight it is.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a cymbal, so tight.
Wow. Very impressively done, Tom. Really turned it around on me. How you doing this week?
It's a little bit of a Motormouth Jones.
You, who's the best sound effects guy that you know in your life?
Oh, in my life?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I saw your face when I originally
No, because I've never thought about it. I'd really have to give it some thought. I don't know if I would actually cite that as something that's missing from my life, that I don't think I have a very good sound effect.
Yeah,
for.
I think that's kind of missing from our crew, Tom.
Yeah, we need to get
We got the brains, me. Got the bronze, you.
Oh, I thought it was
Bron-
the beauty.
I would say that's Ginger, the dog.
Yeah, it's true.
And I guess that's the entire Complete Guide crew.
That's the whole crew. Well, and John's not here tonight. But,
Yeah.
But a lot of times John's here. And,
Yeah.
And what would he be?
Maybe he's the Motormouth Jones of the crew.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a microphone, so I guess we don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
John is like the patience.
Yes.
John sits there while he engineers the show,
Mm-hmm.
and sits there while we prattle on and spout off facts that he knows are not true.
Right. He just has to sit there, bite his tongue
Yeah.
while we give out misinformation.
Yeah.
For the past week, I don't know why, maybe I've got Motormouth Jones on the brain. Although I didn't bring him up, you did, right?
Maybe. Who can tell?
I've just had stuck in my head. I keep getting dumb, like not fully formed parody songs stuck in my head. I've just had Basketball Jones, but with Motormouth Jones stuck in my head.
Did you come up with that yourself?
No. I mean, yeah, I think so. But I mean, that's all I came up with, was
Yeah.
just Motormouth Jones. You got the Motormouth Jones.
Yeah, I bet he would he would love to hear. What's his name?
Michael
Winslow.
Yes.
He'd come in and be like,
No, he would be
and
like,
do the
Yeah.
guitar solo, and then
he'd
he'd be
probably
like,
do screeches on the
yeah,
sneaker screeches
and then you
on
hear
a hard.
the swish.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then like a helicopter and a police siren, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Machine guns.
We could use a sound effects guy on this show. I think everybody would like that, right?
I can tell you one guy who would love it.
So how you doing this week, Tom?
I
I turned the tables on you this week. Usually
Yeah.
you ask me.
Yeah, usually I'm the polite one. In this case, you're the. Usually I ask you, how you're doing, and you're like, and you never even ask me.
Yeah, and I go into like a wonderful story that everybody loves. But I will be the polite person now. Tom, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. I've very little new to report.
See, this is why I'm not polite, Tom.
What?
Because
What,
now...
you want me to make shit up then?
Well, now it's dead
I
air.
killed a man, all right?
Who did you kill?
None of your beeswax. You deserved it.
Was it an accident?
It was an accident, but I didn't mean to kill
You're
him.
winking at me, yeah.
I meant to kill him, but then, he died. It was an accident.
What? Oh, man, your stories are duds, Tom. I came in here with an A-list story,
Well, then let's
and then
hear
I was
it.
like, well, now it's weird because I asked you how you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had a famous, I had a story that was going to go down in the history books. It was about staying at a bed and breakfast, Tom.
A B&B?
A B&B. But let's hear about your fake story about killing a man.
A B&B where you practice S&M?
No.
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a dungeon.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about a bed. It's like a hotel.
A sex dungeon in particular.
Yeah, no. What I stayed at was a hotel.
A sex hotel.
No, just run.
No sex. No sex allowed. They have cameras in the room to make sure.
No cameras in the room, Tom.
You sure?
Have you ever been to a B&B?
No, I don't think I have. I don't know if I would like a B&B.
I always thought I had been, because like I've seen sitcoms where they go to B&Bs or like movies and stuff.
And like a lot of Airbnbs are B&B-esque. Like,
yeah, but
or they're at least not hotels.
I'll tell you what set this apart.
Yeah, what sets apart a Airbnb from an Earth B&B?
A couple of guys who won't stop talking to you for the whole weekend.
So it's like listening to a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I went to Cape Cod.
Ooh, the Cape.
I went to the Cape.
Did you wear a cape?
Oh,
People should wear capes. It should be fine. People should be able to do it a lot more.
I feel like you would be anti-Cape.
No, Tim, I'm more pro-cape than
I feel like
you'd
be like, you're not Batman. What are you wearing the cape for? Have a little respect for real crusaders.
I'm always surprised that like women can kind of wear capes.
Yeah, what's a shawl? A shawl's kind of like a cape,
shawl's
right?
like kind of like the
It
cape.
doesn't like connect though.
Right. Like Robin kind of wears a shawl.
Really?
He wears a lot of times a shorter cape than Batman.
Okay.
He can't like fly with his cape like Batman can a lot of times. But like a lot of times they still let him do it, even though like, it doesn't really make sense. Like it's too small of a cape. But anyway, a cape is like a great item to wear. I would
Does
think.
it keep you warm? Like, what is the point of Batman's cape besides like intimidation when he comes and he can like lift his arms?
Well,
and
intimidation. I mean, he can do that. He can glide with the cape. The cape is often bullet and fireproof, so he can like wrap himself in it.
What's Superman's cape doing for him?
That was the blanket he was wrapped in as a baby from Krypton. So it's indestructible. And I think
But he's indestructible.
Well, but at the end of every battle, you want this guy stark raving naked because all of his clothes have been ripped off. Doomsday ripped all his clothes off.
Does that happen with the rest of his uniform?
No, the rest of his uniform's also made from like material.
Okay, so why the cape is what I'm asking.
I mean, also it doesn't really make sense. Like, how did Ma Kent, cut the material then if it's indestructible to make a suit? Oh, but actually recently, like the new
Kryptonite scissors.
No, like the Man of Steel, the suit is kind of like armor from Krypton.
Why
It's
the
like
hell are we
Under
talking about?
Armour.
I went to a B&B, Tom, at CC.
He wears the cape also for aerodynamics. Sometimes it helps with turning and whatnot.
When he flies?
Yeah, when he drives.
Drives
an Uber? What do you think?
Oh wow, topical, Tom. When he drives an Uber to Shake Shack, right?
Yeah.
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you about a weird experience I had. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this B&B because I don't want to give them the satisfaction.
Because I signed an NDA.
I signed a standard B&B NDA. I went there, and these two gentlemen were the proprietors of the B&B.
Yes.
They made me very uncomfortable, and I know what you're gonna say. Shut up!
I didn't say anything. I was waiting for you to finish.
They made me uncomfortable because they kept referring to me by my name in every single sentence.
I refer to you by your name. Does that make you uncomfortable, Tim? Tell me if it does,
God
Tim.
Damn it! It was like we checked in, and they were like, "Oh, Tim, let me show you your room, Tim. Oh, here's how." They
and they just never addressed your girlfriend.
They did. I'm not gonna. Tom, I will die before I tell you my girlfriend's name.
Well, one day,
sooner
or later, I'm gonna find out.
I've made that mistake before, and then boom, you swoop in. Once you learn their names, you sweep them off their feet.
Yeah, it happened with Edith. It happened with Gladys. It happened with
suddenly,
Ruthie.
Yeah, and then suddenly you're the beneficiary.
Yeah, all of a sudden the wills get changed.
I worked very hard to scout those ladies, establish relationships. I'll be damned if you're going to swoop in and.
Well, Tim, I'm still grieving about those 3 women who unfortunately fell off the roof.
All of them.
Fell off. I mean, separately, not at the same time.
But
of course,
the same
that
roof.
would be weird.
The same roof, though.
Well, what other roof are they going to fall off of?
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ever catch the man in the cape that pushed them off that roof.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they did.
Mm.
He
Anyway.
left very little evidence.
Yeah, so they refer to you by names. That wasn't the weird thing. It was a
One of
weird
the weird
experience.
things.
Yes, because like they explain everything
Because
to
it's
you all
not
the
a
time.
hotel, right? It's not. It's like it's too personal. Like
Yeah.
so the couple that owns this Airbnb, like they live there, right? They're
Yeah.
there all the time.
They lived
This
in
is
a
their
place.
home that they're bringing you into.
Yeah, and they made it very clear we were not to go in.
We were
the
not
part
welcome.
part of the house that they lived in,
Oh, really?
which is fair. I don't want people
But
rifling through my stuff.
But how do they designate what's-
Doors, and walls, mostly.
Just lock the doors.
Yeah, they did, but they were like, "Don't try to get
Don't
in
pick
here.
these locks."
Don't jimmy these locks."
Tim,
yeah,
you didn't bring a lock picking kit, did you, Tim?
oh god, damn, you're throwing me off. I feel like I'm back in Cape Cod. Look, it was a nice experience. I don't like people talking to me that much. But it was cool. It was very expensive. What?
I'm imagining your girlfriend talking to you later that night. And you'd be like, I've had enough people talk to me. Look, you don't like it. Your beefs with those two men. They took all my talking time.
It's kind of true.
You should be mad at them, not me.
I was trying to like make jokes, but these guys did not like my sense of humor at all.
Yeah, well, it's a very acquired taste.
It kind of is, Tom. I recognize that, but I don't know how to be like normal, affable.
Yeah.
So anyway, these guys. The weirdest thing about this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this is all B&Bs or just this one.
Mm-hmm.
These guys loved scones.
That seems like a real B&B type thing.
They had
Now, is that part of the bed or the breakfast?
no scone. Oh, Tom, can I tell you? No scones in bed. There were so many rules about what we were allowed to
Well, you already said no sex in bed, that they have the cameras to watch.
Right. I mean, that's standard in all B&Bs.
Well, any
Closed
hotel.
circuit cameras, yeah. But like, there were places where we were allowed to put our bags, but we weren't allowed to move the bags from there.
All right.
There was a thing where they offered us chocolates, but then told us they weren't going to give us chocolates because they knew we were going to a wedding.
Wait, why? What? And they were afraid you would get too hyper?
No. They was checking.
Look, you're gonna ruin the wedding if we give you chocolates.
All right, the weirdest thing, they're checking us in, right? And it's like, okay, I'm gonna bring you to your room, Tim. Tim, let me show you to the room. Just up these stairs, Tim. This is how the key works in the door, Tim. They explained everything. They explained for 15 minutes how to use the air conditioner. It had 4 buttons on it.
Mm-hmm.
They explained how to watch TV, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch TV. And I know how to. The one thing I know how to do, sir. By the way. These two guys introduced themselves to me and remembered my name for 2 full days.
Right.
I have 3 seconds after meeting them, I had forgotten their names.
Yeah, if you want to be real considerate, instead of addressing somebody by their name, you should just repeat your own name enough that nobody ever has to ask for it again.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do that.
Swear a name tag. You're
Wear
at
a
work.
name tag or talk like Tarzan.
Just always be like,
Me, Jim.
Yeah. I don't think, Jim I'd remember because I'd be like, that's like my name.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were like, normally we'd put chocolates. They knew we were going to a wedding.
I do that whenever somebody's like, my name's Mom. I'm like, that's like my name.
Your name's Mom?
Tom.
Oh, it's like your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you remember your mom's name.
Well, whenever somebody introduces
You go home
them.
to visit on Thanksgiving, you're like,
who's
oh,
this
what was
lady?
that? Oh, Mom, Tom.
No,
Mom.
actually, all that happens is for my entire life at like department stores when like a kid's like, Mom, I think they're saying Tom.
And then you go and pick them up and be like, that's okay,
Yeah,
Tom.
it's
Tom's
all right.
here.
No, you got scared. You got lost. It's fine. And then they scream like hell.
Yeah. What they said about the chocolates,
Mm-hmm.
because they were like,
That life is like them.
no, they didn't even liken chocolates to anything. They were like,
Oh, so that was the one area where they were like, figure it out for yourself, pal.
normally we'd give you chocolates Normally, when you got home tonight, when you got back here tonight,
Oh, they called your home.
yeah, I live
This
there.
is
now.
your
No,
home
yeah.
now. I have to be up. I have to be back at the Cape after this is over, or else I don't get my chocolates.
No, they said we know you're going out. Normally, when you can't come home, when you come back, there would be chocolates on your pillow for you to enjoy. But since you're going to a wedding, we're not going to do that. And I was just like, okay. The one thing I learned was like, don't ask questions because like the conversations are long enough.
Yeah.
Just accept it as it is. Like, cool, no chocolates for weddings. And I was like, okay, cool.
No chocolates for weddings makes sense.
Yeah. And then there was just kind of like a pause where like I was like, now would be a great time for this guy to leave the room.
Right. You let the pause hang there, so you say, well, I'll let you do it.
But no, he's like, well, the thing is, when we normally leave the chocolates on the pillow, and then people come back from weddings, and they've been partying, and usually they roll around in the chocolates and get it all over the sheets.
Why would you do that?
And I was just like, again, I didn't ask, well, why would I do that? I didn't want the chocolate that badly.
Yeah. And you two look like a couple of drunks, so I'm sure.
I did get really drunk.
Yeah, we'll be removing chocolate out of the fucking curtains if we left them in here for you two.
Yeah. So no chocolates, but Tom,
Mm-hmm.
these scones. They were talking up these scones for so long.
Uh-huh.
There was a sign in the living room that said,
In the living room, not even the kitchen.
yeah, no, it said keep calm and scone on.
Scone isn't a verb.
I know, but that's how much they love scones. There was like other art inspired by scone, like drawings of scones
Why
that were
would you-
framed.
A scone doesn't. It just looks like a lump of cooked dough. It doesn't look like
These
they
guys-
look delicious. They only look delicious if you've had one and you know they're delicious. Like they don't look. They're not like like the Tasmanian devil never looked at Bugs Bunny and imagined him looking like a scone. They don't look delicious.
Yeah, well, these guys liked scones, and it was a long story. I was supposed to be there for 2 days. I was
You
only
guys
there.
didn't know that the scones were. This wasn't like the
No,
scone.
we booked a
the
room at a
scone
goddamn
inn.
bed and breakfast. Is what we did,
Yeah,
Tom.
but did you look at the reviews? And the reviews like the scones. Oh my God, the scones are to die for.
No, but
Keep calm and scone on.
to be honest, when my ex-girlfriend, current fiance, called up and made the reservation, they told her like expect scones,
Yeah.
and she was like, oh, okay, like, but we booked the room.
Don't
right?
eat a bunch of scones right before you come.
Don't fill up on the scones that you find on the street, those street scones,
Yeah.
because we were going to make you scones. So the next morning at breakfast, we wake up and we go to breakfast, and they're like, you are not going to believe these scones. And I was like, what I didn't say was like, I don't really know enough about scones to have an opinion on scones.
Right.
But I believe I've had them in like coffee shops when there haven't been any other pastries, and like they're fine, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Well, you got them with butter or jam. That's what I mean. That's really what it is. It's a butter or jam delivery device.
Yeah. I just prefer to eat jam straight out of the jar and butter in stick form.
Tim, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I take a bite from a stick of butter, shove about a heaping spoonful of jam into my mouth.
Oh, I usually just drink the jam right out of the jar.
And then sometimes I take a nice swig of maple syrup and swish that all around.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, most people do think that's tough. Anyway, so we go, and they're like,
I mean, you're tough.
what do you mean?
It's tough to do.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a thing that tough guys do.
Yeah. I drink maple syrup for breakfast.
So anyway, so we're sitting at the table. It's
Uh-huh.
8 a.m. on Sunday.
Ugh.
Massively hungover.
Yeah.
They've shamed us into like coming down for breakfast
Yeah, they
because
sconed you into
yeah,
it.
there's like 12 of us there. I think 12, maybe 13.
So either a dozen or a baker's dozen.
Right. And they're walking around calling everybody by their names,
Yeah.
and I'm all thrown off.
Right.
And like it's
And
like
you're
in this
sitting there trying to remember your fiance's name.
exactly. But the thing is, I was like, once I remember it, better not tell Tom.
Right. Sometimes you trick yourself into forgetting it.
Exactly. So anyway, they come out and they haven't brought us breakfast for like 20 minutes. I was like, why did they bring us down here if they're not going to serve us food for this long? And a guy comes out and he's like, "Hey, we're on a porch too,
Okay,
and there's like
so you're
3
outside.
tables. Yeah, and it's filled. There's like 4 people that I guess there was 12 of us there, but it was like kind of quiet. And like a guy came out, and he's like, "Great news, scones are coming."
Yeah, well, wasn't that the whole deal?
Yeah, I was like, "Great," and they're like. He's like, I just have some bad news. I was like, we're not even going to get these goddamn scones, are we? And he's like, we wanted Megan Trainor to come. We booked Megan Trainor to come and deliver these scones to you, but she got stuck in traffic, so we're going to have her older, less talented sister come bring these scones out. And I was like, oh, shit. Whatever's
you were
about
very
to happen.
disappointed that Megan Trainor wasn't there.
No, I just knew whatever was going to happen was like not something for a guy who like stayed out
And
way
now,
too late drinking.
and how long had it been since you saw the other guy? Were you starting to suspect maybe he was in on this?
Yeah, I thought so. And then way too loud over speakers that I did not know were there. They hear, I'm all about that bass, about that bass, about that. I was like, oh, crap. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's too late. There was nowhere for me to go. We were in a screened-in porch. I couldn't get, short of like clawing my way through the screen.
Right.
The other guy, the other proprietor, comes out with a I think it was him. He had a tray of scones.
I can't be sure.
But previously he wasn't dressed as a lady. But whoever was holding these scones on a tray was dressed in a dress, like a glamorous dress,
Like a gown.
yeah, and a hairspray type wig, and was just dancing around going, I'm all about those scones, about those scones, about those scones.
They like scone punts that aren't really punts.
Yeah,
huh?
and the thing is, like, we were the youngest people there, and this music was so like deafeningly loud. And he's dancing around, not even serving the scones. And I was like, all right. But, like, it was so awkward there that, like, the other guy started, like, clapping along to the beat.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, this is something I can do to make this less awkward, like, show a little support for what's going on.
Right. Maybe that will make it end quicker.
Yeah. And it just wasn't ending. The scones were not being served. They were just being danced around.
Well, it's all part of the process.
And I'm just like smiling and like trying to get my girlfriend to play along. Like we had to show these guys that like I don't know. Who knows what these guys
What
will
will
do.
happen if we don't like this?
So I didn't notice the other guy slipped out at some point.
Oh, no.
And he came back in with an even bigger beehive and an even more glamorous gown. And so he starts in there.
And more scones or no scones?
No more scones.
He just.
It just came back in and like I don't know what response they usually get to this, but like it was just a bunch of like bored 63-year-olds just like what is I'm very hungry.
Yeah,
please.
I would like the scones. Please stop dancing with them.
Yeah. You would think like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and they serve the scones, and we all go about our day. No, the entire, 4-minute song played, and, there was no extra shtick once they came out. They were just dancing around.
Yeah.
And they gave us our scones, I got the hell out of there.
They should have used, here I am again on my scone, or with my scone. That would be a better pun.
Yeah, or... I a scone, love you. But dressed up as a scone, like I scone, love you. I a scone, tempt you.
Oh, yeah, and then it really makes you think.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe there'll be some nighttime scones. So you're saying dress up as scones, not the band live.
I don't know. I mean,
well, there's 2 guys. One could be a scone. One could be what was his name?
Ed Kowalczyk.
Yeah.
I mean, I got
Kowalczyk.
a great Ed Kowalczyk costume if they need to borrow it.
There's a bald wig with a rat tail coming, a braided rat tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my look.
My on the go look. And what did you think of the scones? Were the scones all there was for breakfast?
There was some fruit. Oh, no. We had eggs, too.
Oh, okay, yeah, because otherwise I was going to say, it doesn't matter how good the scone is. You got to have, like, some eggs and stuff.
How come they didn't call that place the Scone Zone or something? That's not good. That's more of like a laser tag place.
Laser tag place that also serves scones.
Yeah, plays Megan Trainor.
I find it hard to believe that this wasn't all like detailed, like that this isn't the reason why people go to this place.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Nobody else there seemed like they knew what was going on. So, like, I don't know. I'm not sure that was in the literature, Tom.
Yeah.
Pretty good scones, though.
All right, Tim. This week we're talking.
Let's jump right into the topic.
Yeah, enough scone talk. Let's talk about the road.
I just want to say one thing in case the proprietors of this B&B are listening.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed their establishment. They were nice,
especially the dancing and singing.
Yeah, I mean, in a different context, I would have.
How would they possibly listen to this, Tim? How would somebody?
We're very popular, Tom.
That's true.
I could. In Cape Cod specifically, I couldn't walk around there. I had to wear my Ed Kowalczyk costume.
Yeah. But
then I still got some attention, but not as much as I would have
People
if I was
thought,
the famous podcaster.
Like, hey, lightning crashes.
Yeah. Yeah. An old mother dies.
Well, yeah, you would always. That's the call and return.
Her placenta falls to the floor. That's not the dying mother. That's the other lady.
There are two mothers in that?
Yeah. You don't know lightning crashes? The one old mom dies.
Okay.
And then the new mom gives birth to a baby, and the old lady's spirit's in the baby. It's a reincarnation song.
I thought it was the lady giving birth died.
No.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
What was the old lady doing in the delivery room?
I think it was just a different part of the hospital. I think it's a standard birth and death hospital.
Hey, ain't that all of them? Healthcare. Anyway, this week we're talking about road trips, and I'm not talking about the Red Hot Chili Pepper song "Road Trippin'."
Road tripping with my two favorite allies.
Yeah, so throw out all those. I can see all the notes you brought about.
Yeah, well, I learned all the lyrics.
Yeah. Throw out the guitar tabs too.
No.
We're not going to be playing it.
I was hoping that we could learn learn how to play that on the guitar together.
I was hoping you would teach me, sir. We're talking about road trips. I'm taking a solo road trip this weekend.
Slow trip.
Yes.
All right. Hold on.
Solo trip.
I want to know first, right off the bat,
mm-hmm.
How do you define a road trip?
I would say any drive more than 2 hours where you are then going to be staying overnight where you are driving to.
See, I'm not so sure I agree with you on that.
Oh.
I think a road trip...
And in fair, what I'm talking about this weekend, I'm driving 5 hours to get somewhere.
Right.
And I'm staying there for
Cape Cod, to a bed and breakfast?
Yeah, I heard about this great bed and breakfast. I'm going to drive to Cape Cod. I hope Megan Trainor's there. I mean, you said she couldn't make it last weekend, but she should.
Yeah, it was just because the traffic was particularly
so she'll be
bad.
there this weekend.
Ideally.
You should have demanded a refund. You should have seen how that I was promised Megan Trainor. I would
these guys seemed no nonsense. They
seemed 100% nonsense.
Yeah, but then we weren't allowed to have chocolate.
They came out and performed a song and drag about scones. But other than that, they were no nonsense.
Yeah, these guys are just seriously. No. All right, the way I see
ironically,
a road trip,
they only allowed nonsense around scones.
It's true. Chocolates in weddings, they were. Anyway. The way I define a road trip, or the way that I always think about it, is that it needs to have multiple destinations. Like, I'm going here, I'm stopping here for a night, and I'm going here, going here for a night. Like, just driving, like, do you call a like if you go to,
I'm gonna stop and go pee pee at a few places.
yeah, I wish you wouldn't say pee pee. Also, like,
I'm gonna stop and piss at a few places.
yeah, that's
Do
a
you like
cool
that?
adult way to talk, Tom. I'm gonna take a swig of maple syrup and take a piss.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna pee in a Gatorade bottle and throw it out the window.
Ugh. Do you ever do that?
No, I never do that.
I'm afraid of getting pulled over while urinating in a bottle.
You know what?
And then that's indecent exposure.
Yeah. And not the hit CBS sitcom.
Northern exposure.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not that. It's
and it's not the Demi Moore movie, Indecent Proposal.
No. Indecent Exposure sounds like it could be a porn parody of Northern Exposure.
Or Indecent Proposal.
Right. So, I mean, Indecent Proposal could just be the name of it.
Yeah.
Indecent Proposal XXX.
Indecent Promposal.
Well, then now you're getting into dicey territory.
Yeah, that's very indecent. It's not decent.
Barely legal.
All right. Okay,
proposal.
Tom.
So, yeah, I've.
So you just see it as a long drive.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about being in Gatorade bottles.
Okay, yeah.
Too worried about it filling up.
How? Wow.
I mean, maybe I'm using like not like a one, like a 32 ounce Gatorade.
Yeah.
And maybe in this case, I'm not talking about a Gatorade.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm talking about like a Capri Sun. Very worried about it filling up.
Wait, how do you pee into a Capri Sun?
How do you pee into a Capri Sun? How do you think?
I'm at a loss here, Tom.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't like to do bathroom stuff outside of a bathroom.
I agree with you 100%. Especially if you do it in your car, then it's like you're always going to know that you did this in this car.
Yeah. I also don't like even when like you're camping and it's like I always walk over to this one spot. Like we've all been like, we're sitting around the fire drinking.
Yeah.
And we're always peeing like in that general area. It's like
at the fire.
Yeah. No. Away from the fire. But like I always feel like, well, if I'm walking over there, I'm going to like walk directly on my friend's urine that's on the ground.
Yeah, I always try and go pretty far and then keep like a good eye on like, all right, that's the marker there. Don't walk past that because then you're just going to walk through it.
Yeah. And then I'm also afraid that a bear's going to come and bite my wiener off.
Well, it's
a valid fear, Tom.
It is. Anyway, so road trips, all right. Well, regardless of whether one stop or multiple stops, I mean...
You just see it as a long trip in a car.
Yeah, multiple stops for sure.
Right.
That's a road trip to be envied.
Oh, really?
Yes. I love road trips. I like being on the road, baby.
I don't think I do.
You do this?
Tom, tell them what you're doing.
Well, if I put my arm in my armpit, then
he's peeing in a Gatorade bottle. No, Tom. Of course, you're making the truck honking.
Yeah,
thing.
the trunk honking noise. So
but you can do that
trucks.
like on your commute to work. You don't need to be on a road trip to.
And I do it on my commute to work, Tim, but I don't see as many trucks in the subways as I do on the highways and byways.
Okay.
And are you going to go my ways?
I find being
Lenny Kravitz. What?
I find being in a car or a vehicle, if there's a destination, I just find it very stressful. I'm always thinking about, like, how far, especially now with, like, GPS, everybody, well,
Especially now with this GPS.
No, but like how you can just open up your phone and be like, I'll know exactly to the minute when I'm going to arrive.
Right. You can see the
and
time.
like, then you're thinking like, okay, we got this many miles. Like, I'm always just like scheming on, like, I always forget the fact that the journey is the destination, right? And I'm just like, how long? Hey Siri, how long to our destination?
Yeah. And she's like, hey man, why don't you just fucking relax? Why don't you just enjoy
if
it?
Siri could tell me to relax all the time.
that would be a killer feature. Just once in a while, it was like, boop, boop. hey, just relax, man.
Yeah, just calm down. It's cool.
Yeah.
Look, your life is fine. You're doing great.
Yeah.
But Tom, they don't want it, man, because
No,
they just want
man,
Siri
they
to come on
want-
and be
yeah.
like, "Hey, buy more things. Be a consumer.
Yeah,
That's how you're
man.
gonna be
They just-
happy, man."
Yeah, Siri wants you on edge all the time. So you're
Yeah,
buying
Siri's like,
shit,
"I know you're
man.
jonesing for more consumerism."
One of the reasons that I like road trips is that it's like you have an excuse-free reason to eat garbage.
Yeah, I do love the rest stops. They're not so much in New York, I feel
No,
like.
there's not very many.
But like if you could get to a Sheetz,
Mm-hmm.
or just like a rest stop that has like a Cheese Boy. Do you know about Cheese Boy, Tom?
No.
Cheese Boy is this grilled cheese place that's really been popping up at a lot of rest stops.
Okay.
Just a lot of different variations of grilled cheese with other stuff on it. It's
Why?
great.
Now,
It's a
why do
great
you
vegetarian option.
Why do you think that's happening at rest stops of all places?
Because people will eat shit.
Yeah, but I feel like rest stops are like the last refuge of like a dying fast food place. Like you only find Roy Rogers and Arby's at rest stops.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I haven't seen a Roy Rogers in a
I've
real long
only
time.
seen a Roy Rogers in a rest stop.
They're redoing a lot of rest stops now, Tom.
Getting
You know
rid of
what's
Roy?
you know what's popular in rest stops now?
What's
At
it?
least
Hand jobs in the bathroom.
no, not even.
Wow.
Well, I don't know.
You're not looking in the right places.
There's a lot of Chipotles there now.
Really?
But who the hell is gonna get a burrito and eat it while they drive?
Yeah, there's
That's why a cheese boy is so great. You just eat a grilled cheese while you drive. It's great.
yeah. I don't like taking food to go if I'm at a rest stop. I like eating it there,
See,
stretching my legs a little bit.
See, I'm always concerned about like we gotta make good time.
We're gonna be late.
Yeah.
They
Siri,
won't have the scones if we're late.
I didn't get into this part of the story, Tom, but I missed one day of scones, and I was upset about it. I wasn't upset about it. It was weird.
Well, you were probably at the time you didn't know it would be so weird.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, Tom,
Leave me a scone. Oh, just leave me a scone.
leave me a scone.
Leave me a scone.
I just like eating them a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No,
I bet if you sang that to them, they would have left you a scone.
yeah, that's true. If I nailed the harmonies.
Paul, and how would you do that, though? It's just one man.
Multi-track recording, Tom.
Right.
How did MJ do it? Tom,
Yes.
when I think of the quintessential American road trip,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about somebody who drove coast to coast.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Yeah, me neither. And I regret
I've
that,
driven...
like, I can't do that anymore. Like,
Why not?
because, like, I
all
have...
those roads are gone now.
No, because that takes a couple weeks, right? And,
If
like,
you're going to do it right, yeah.
yeah, well, I'm not just going to be like, let's see how fast I can drive
Hey, you want to do the gumball run? Cannonball run?
gumball run.
No, there is a gumball run,
What's
too.
the gumball run?
It's different.
I think you might have just
No,
made that up
there's-
and then tried
no.
to speak authoritatively.
No, it's like the Gumball 5000. No, they do it in England, I think. That's what
okay,
it
but
is.
that's not across the U.S., is it?
That's across England, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
but England's so much smaller.
I know.
Do
it's
that in a day.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can do that one.
I don't want to do that one. I want to do Route 66, my
Yeah.
man.
Other countries
I want to get
don't
my
have,
kicks.
Other countries don't have the highway system we have.
Yeah, except for like Germany.
Well, they have the Autobahn,
Um,
where there are no rules, man. You can, it's like fucking death race
All
out
right.
there.
no, I'm like I think we're both at the point where we have responsibilities. Like, coast to coast road trip is a great thing to do, like in your early 20s before you have like a
Yeah.
serious job or like
Mhm.
family obligations or like places you need to be or
Yeah.
you know. And I missed out on that. And
Well, you do it when you retire.
I'm probably gonna do it in a few years when I hit that midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Walk out on my fam. Says the guy building a family. I'm getting married in a month, and I just can't wait to leave my wife and go across country.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I mean,
Maybe she'll come. She might want to come.
Well, if she
But then who will make the money? Yeah.
Well, it's going to be awfully hard to start another family if she comes. She's going to be nagging about, who's this new wife?
Don't worry about it. Go have some more scones with the men.
Yeah, I haven't done like the Route 66 thing, but I did like in college went on a family vacation to
Lame.
No, it was cool. I was saying it was lame the whole time. But we went to visit my grandparents in Arizona where they lived and drove to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, that's cool.
From there. So like that was like a pretty long trip and you got to see like a lot of cool stuff, including the Grand Canyon.
Now, what is that?
Big fucking hole.
Nice.
Yeah, big hole in the earth.
Bro.
I don't know who put it there.
God. Shout out to God.
I think actually somebody did say,
God put this here?
God put this here for you.
Let's all give a shout out to God.
And
then
like,
you all kiss 2 fingers and put it up to the sky.
And then they're like, don't ride a donkey down to the bottom without a plan, because sometimes people die when they do that.
That's true.
And sometimes donkeys die. And probably every time the donkey's fine.
As soon as the donkey gets back, it drops dead.
Donkeys have like they're like a little bit like camels, right?
Like that they store
water?
No, I don't think so. I think that's 100% wrong. How many beers did you have today, Tom? We got to stop doing these at your apartment. I feel like you drink before I get here.
No, you saw me open that case. I mean, I've been outpacing you.
Yeah.
But
I'm just worried.
I didn't really eat much before I started drinking all these beers.
Yeah. We're talking about road trips. Let me just remind you.
Oh, let me go through this list of things that I found that you should bring on a road trip.
Okay, cool. Let's you and I, before we die, plan a road trip.
To where? How long?
You know what would be a great American road trip? 10 days.
10 days?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, you stay at motels. You see where the road takes you. You stop off at the world's biggest ball of twine or whatever they got out there. You ride a donkey down to the bottom of a canyon.
Tim, no, not unless you got a plan. You're not
I
going to get back up.
Tom, I said we're going to plan this. I got God on my side. Shout out to God.
Once we get to the bottom, turn around, come back.
Yeah. Ride the donkey down. Take stock of what's down there. Yeah. Get on the donkey, ride back up. Great. Real hard.
Yeah, I never really actually understood. Well, I guess there's like a river at the bottom of the canyon, but like when they would talk about people trekking to the bottom, I'm like, all right, then you get down there and it just looks like regular shit. Like up here is where you can tell it's really something else.
No, you're in a big canyon. It's like looking out of a big hole.
I don't think so. I think when you're down there, you can't really see the walls.
It just like looks like you're like next to mountains or something. Yeah,
which like you can do that anywhere.
Hey. You heard it here first. Don't go to the Grand Canyon. It's for jerks.
No, just stay at the top. Don't go to the bottom. That's how they get you.
Don't go down there. That's how they get you.
Yeah, it costs twice as much to come back up.
There's snakes down there.
Oh, jeez, yeah. There's snakes up top, too, to be fair.
Snakes everywhere. We got to face facts at some point.
Here's this list I found of things to bring.
Things to bring. Tom's patented things to bring. An empty Gatorade bottle.
Well, full, and then you can refill it if you know what I mean.
With your urine, by urinating into it.
But then when
when
you refill it, you say it's apple juice. Just kidding.
You must be severely dehydrated, my man.
Number 1, a map.
No, you don't need that.
You do need a goddamn map.
Why?
Because what if
we all got a million maps in our pocket,
What if it fails?
What do you mean fails?
What if your phone fails?
Well, then
fails to tell you where you are.
Okay.
Did you know that the iPhone, the GPS in the iPhone, not only uses GPS, it uses like GLONASS, which is the Soviet era GPS that they put up there from like, you know, the 60s.
Why would we use Soviet technology?
I don't know. I think it's just because like they put the same shit up there, so we're like, might as well, you know, double check. Use these ones.
How does it work? Because like when you don't have service, it still tells you where you are on a map. That's pretty cool, right?
Well, yeah, because the GPS will give you the coordinates, the latitude and longitude.
Nice.
And then if the phone has enough maps.
Okay, so bring a map. But
Bring an extra map.
Look, I'd like to think I'd be really good at maps.
Yeah.
Reading a map. I think that part of my brain died.
You had a dangerous map reading experience?
No, I think just using my phone to navigate everywhere. Like, I'll be like, okay, I take this road to this road, but how will I know when I get to that road? Like, I drive and, like, I follow the blue line. And it's like, well, where's the turn? I'll just turn when I see it on the screen is, like, where the blue line goes.
So you just drive staring at the screen the whole time.
Yeah, why not?
Number 2.
Looking at the roads for suckers. That's number 2. Don't paint your windshield black.
Hey, well, you know what? They keep the car nice and cool.
Yeah.
Well, not black. It would make it much hotter.
White.
Yeah, there you go. Number 2, a first aid kit.
All right. You know, I always laugh at nerds who have that in their car. But, I mean, I guess it's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Why not?
Because, like, I mean... What do you mean a first aid kit, right? So, like...
I mean a first aid kit.
Band-Aids?
Yeah, Band-Aids.
Oh, I cut my finger. Yeah, shut up. No, but, like, I think it's more important to have, like, road flares and emergency blankets and stuff.
Well, that's not going to...
Granola bars.
That's not going to do much good when a snake bites you.
Like a first aid kit would do anything.
Yeah, it's got anti-venom.
No, it doesn't, does it?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah, right.
Yo,
Bro.
you thought they had anti-venom.
Do you have a first aid kit in your car?
I do not, but I have a first aid kit in my home that's like way too, like I got it for
Yosemite.
Last year when we went camping. So it's like 120 item, like it's got, you know, it's like, oh, if your leg fell off, here's all the stuff you need to like cauterize your leg. And
there's a shotgun so you can shoot a bear.
Oh no, the shotgun's for if there's no other options, and you know you don't want the bear to get the satisfaction of getting you.
Oh no, my first aid kit has a cyanide pill in it.
Oh.
One for everyone in the family.
I keep one in my in a fake tooth.
Ah, nice.
Just in case I'm captured. Number 3, and there's a big one: music. Tunes. I'm all about that bass.
I'm all about those scones.
This is a thing that I think has not gone by the wayside, but nowadays, you know, you got the jukebox in the sky.
Yeah, God.
Not God. But you would have, like, before, like, I remember taking road trips as a younger man. And it was like, all right, man, time to burn some CDs.
Hell yeah.
And even, because even...
Tom.
What?
We took a road trip one time.
Yeah.
To South Carolina.
Yes.
And we stopped in Maryland. It satisfied my
all your
my
requirements.
All right, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we stopped in Maryland.
We listened a lot to a bad Foo Fighters record that had recently come out. And I think we were trying to get each other to... We were trying to, like... trick ourselves into liking it.
Right.
But it was bad.
But I had some mixed CDs, too, which were good.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Those are fun. And this was like, there were iPods, but this was like during that awkward time when it was hard to hook up an iPod to a car.
Yeah. You needed like a tape adapter. And then
or you
zoop,
could...
zoop, zoop, constantly.
Well, yeah. And I don't think
ka-ching.
my car didn't have a tape player, a CD player, so it's like, oh, you have to use like the FM radio thing, which never worked right.
Yeah, and just keep this in mind, you Spotify heads, you Apple Music junkies, you Google Play nimwits, you freaking...
Tidal tyrants.
Yeah, you Mog
Mog has not been around for years, like half a decade.
Really?
Yes. Well, who was charging me $10 on my credit card every month?
Sometimes you lose service, or sometimes
Yeah.
your phone gets a little low, and somebody else is charging their phone in the adapter.
Tim, I've got that all figured out.
Why is this?
I have a cigarette lighter adapter that has 2 plugs.
That's true. Tom,
Mm.
can you give me a moment indulge in an old man's lament? Part of the fun that I think about road trips are that, like, you're kind of limited in what you can do,
Right.
right? So, like,
So if everybody can just dick around on their phone like they could anywhere.
yeah, that's and that's especially no fun for the driver.
Right.
Right? Like when you're driving and you got a car full of people and everybody's just down doing their own thing, like, and you're just like, man, I wish I didn't have to, like, pay attention to the road and everything while everybody else
Well, just take your phone out.
reads the latest tweets.
Yeah. And then they go, huh? And you're like,
Yeah.
what's funny? I mean, it's in context.
Well, yeah, well then don't laugh.
Yeah. Shut
How
up.
hard is it not to laugh at tweets, you jerk? But, like, that's the thing. I think it should be like a little bit of like a. I can't really bring out my phone right now because, like, I got 30% battery, and like I don't want, like, if everybody's like, look, if it's like.
So you're saying when you're in charge of road trips, you don't let people charge their phones?
I always say, well, I got Waze going. I got to keep this plugged in because that thing drains your battery.
Yeah. Or you can be like, everybody play solitaire alone. Each of you.
On one of our road trips, we got so tired, Tom, that same road trip down to South Carolina, that, do you remember the game we played where we did our best impression of a man turning into a machine?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, and if we had smartphones back then, we would never have a game where it's like, all right, who can do the best impression of a man becoming a robot?
Yeah. It's like, hello, my name is... Oh, what is happening to...
Oh, I'm changing.
That killed a good 5 minutes between the three of us.
Initiating transformation sequence. We should do that on the podcast sometimes.
Yeah, that should be a regular segment.
Actually, I would love to do that as a competition. Like, each of us gets 1 minute, and it's like, you know what? Use your voice and your sound effects to tell a story. Take me on a journey.
Yeah, well, this is where the Motormouth Jones of our crew would really take the cake.
Next on my list, hand sanitizer.
Oh, shut up. That thing's for jerks.
That thing's for jerks. You strike me as somebody who thinks hand sanitizer is a scam.
Yeah, it is.
Why do you think it's
Just wash your goddamn hands regularly. It's
What?
fine. Keep
You
your
can't-
fingers out of your mouth.
Well, come on. Now you're going too far.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you can't wash your hands in a car. You got a wash
What are
basin
you touching
in your
in
car?
the car that, like, between, like, the last time you wash your hands after using the bathroom?
What if you're like, what if you're driving, your butt itches?
Well, get instead of hand sanitizer, you should have a butt scratcher on that list.
I do have, Tim, I was about to get to number 5, butt scratcher.
And make sure he's small in stature.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to
paying,
paying, gas money. The
lugging
extra
around
weight.
a big guy his sole purpose is there to scratch your butt.
Hand sanitizer, it's not like, you need it because you're going to be doing surgery in the car at some point. It's just like if your hands are, if you're eating Cheetos or something, you might want, well, Cheetos is a bad example. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes your hands feel cleaner if they're sticky or something.
Hand sanitizer makes my hands feel filmy and gross.
Yeah, I mean, it does for me too a little bit, but it's fine.
I don't like smelling smells when I'm driving.
Yeah, that strikes me as something you would like. I don't like anybody on their phone. I don't like any smells. I need the man to scratch my butt to be small.
Yeah. All normal.
Number
Requests.
5, snacks.
Yeah. Who made this list? A third grader?
I made this list, Tim. It's a good list. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. I think we discussed. All right. Combos. Classic road trip fare. That's the only time anybody eats combos is on the road. I think the only place
that's
they sell
true.
them are at like convenience stores attached to gas stations.
Yeah, I mean, they sell them at supermarkets, but like no one has ever been to somebody's house and been offered combos.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever put out a bowl of combos at a party. But I'll tell you what, they should.
Yeah, let's
If I
try
went to
that
a
at our next party town.
If I went to a party and there were a bowl of combos out, I'd be like, wow, this is a hell of a party.
Instead, you're just going to weird parties, you know, where there's a bowl of condoms.
Yeah, Tim, sorry that
Or a bowl of keys.
I was gonna say if I went to a party and there were a bowl of combos out, I would say this is the best swinger party I've ever been to. Next on the list, games.
Travel games, versions of board games never work
You don't
out.
like-
The pieces are too small and unwieldy.
What? Some of them don't have. What about just I Spy with My Little Eye?
You don't have to bring that. That's just you bring your brain.
Yeah, but you can think about it. Maybe you can download rules before you come.
Oh,
Maybe you can
gosh.
download rules to your brain. What if you're on a road trip and you're like, let's play I Spy with My Little Eye, and somebody's like, well, I don't know that. And you're like, oh, you should have brought the instructions in your brain before you got in the
Yeah,
car.
because I'm not explaining it to you.
It's too hard to explain. Punch Buggy.
Oh, that's stupid.
What are some other... There's another big...
There's the license plate game where I think you have to like find all the letters of the alphabet on the license
or like
plates.
all the states.
Yeah,
It's
which
like bingo. I don't like car bingo. Well, actually, you know what? I like car bingo.
wow, your views are really evolving.
My stance has evolved on
Yeah.
this. I think I do like car bingo. That's a fun game.
All right.
But all these games, well, those games, you know, the driver can't play.
Right.
But you know, usually at that point, the driver's like, hey, you goddamn kids, shut your goddamn mouths.
I just say put on the Les Mis soundtrack and everybody take a part. I'll take Cosette. You be Jean Valjean.
And then the last thing I have on my list is a garbage bags.
Yeah, you're gonna want that. Actually, you know what? The best part about cleaning a car after a road trip,
Mm-hmm.
or when you get to a destination every night or whatever,
Yeah.
you just have one bag that you got at a convenience store that like you brought your shit out in, and you clean up. It takes 5 seconds. I never do it, but I watch others do it, and it's
And they seem to really enjoy it. I almost bought recently at like when I was buying something for my car like a car garbage.
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 Yeah.
But I thought I'll never empty. That will just be an
Happened to me. I have a taco.
overflowing trash can.
Here's what happens. I never use mine,
Uh-huh.
but I used it the first day.
Yeah.
So there's just been an empty Taco Bell cup in there
Oh,
for
yeah,
like
probably
6 months.
Took up the whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And some half-eaten tacos.
And I went back and ate the tacos.
I think those are all, and you know, I've got some tips, but they all stink.
What are the tips?
Use a binder clip for mounting your phone as GPS.
Nah.
I've
just
got
buy
yeah,
You have like an
they're-
Uber driver's thing, right?
Yeah, and they're like $10. You can
Yeah.
just buy a actual mount.
Yeah.
Use a container from the dollar store as a trash can.
Shut up. Of course you're going to buy it. God damn it.
Grab a shower caddy for each kid from the dollar store.
I don't have any kids, you idiot. Who made this list? An idiot?
Use Gas Buddy to find the best gas prices en route. I think gas prices are a scam. I mean, not like a scam. I don't know. I think people worry about gas prices too much.
My car holds, I think, 10 or 11
10,000
gallons.
gallons.
Like,
Yeah, mine's 11 gallons, I think.
yeah, okay. So
then it's
when
about
somebody's like,
average.
well, this gas is 10 cents cheaper, it's like, great, you saved $1.
Yeah.
And, like, it's
And-
not worth
And
thinking
you'd
about.
be lucky to find 10 cents cheaper.
Yeah.
It's usually like 2 cents,
And
5
then you're
cents.
driving out of the way for it.
Yeah.
Look, just be rich and buy gas at whatever price it is. Get premium every time.
Just keep the AC off and keep the windows up so you keep that aerodynamicy.
Yeah.
Put a few drops of essential oil on a clothespin to rid odor
And then put the clothespin on your nose.
on your nipples.
Gross.
And yeah. What the hell is essential oil?
I don't know. But I know they're amazing.
If it's so essential, how come I don't know what it is?
Hate you. Yeah, just like it's like concentrated smells, I think.
But you said you hate smells.
Yeah. But it's concentrated.
You seem like you went off in your memory for a moment. Yeah.
You broke my brain. No, if you're making your own home cleaners, which I experimented with a couple weeks back, it really makes it smell better if you put like a lemon essential oil in there.
Just put a lemon in there. Cut out the middleman.
Then everything gets all sticky.
Yeah. So, isn't essential oil sticky?
No.
Sounds like it's sticky.
No, and like a tiny bit goes such a long way. So if you're like, if you have like a spray bottle full of like
oil,
no, like water,
motor oil,
and you put like just the tiniest bit of essential oil in there, like that's enough, and it won't be sticky. It's so concentrated.
Is this what you do now,
believe.
Tim? You have like crystals all over your apartment too.
I don't have crystals. I don't have crystals in my apartment, Tom.
I have crystals.
I don't know why you're saying this. It's a lie.
This one I already knew. Bring a multi-port USB car charger and stay plugged in.
No, unplug.
Use a dollar
Turn
store
off. Tune out.
shoe organizer as a snack caddy.
How many snacks do you need that you need a goddamn caddy for?
Well, a lot of the tips I saw was around like kids. You know, if you got kids on a car trip, don't bring kids on a car trip. Leave them at home.
Yeah.
It's for you and your significant other.
Road trips are for 5 people, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Breckenmeyer. DJ Qualls. Amy Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're going to say, Tom. Tom Green? No, Tom Green stayed back at the dorm.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. It was the boy who played Stifler in that movie.
I don't know, Tim. You're the one who said, why did you give yourself such a high 5 people? And then assumed you could name 5 people from the movie Road Trip.
Stifler was in that movie.
I think you're thinking of Euro Trip.
No, I've never seen Euro Trip. I'm not Euro trash.
I think that's, a lot of what the movie features, Euro trash.
So maybe I wasn't. Maybe I did see that movie.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about this road trip is I'm taking my dog and just me and my dog heading up to Lake George, meeting people there. But I can't leave my dog in the car. So I can't go inside and have a nice sit down cheddar boy breakfast or whatever it is.
Cheese boy, you asshole. I don't serve breakfast. The only breakfast on the road is scones, as far as I'm concerned. The scones really did a number on me.
Well, it's all about those scones. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I mean, a scone tempt you.
All right. I think that's all for this week.
Yeah, Stifler was in that movie.
Okay.
You idiot.
If you like the show, you can check out more at tcgt.com. Email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/completeguide. Follow us on Twitter @completeguide. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @TomReynolds.
Follow me on those things at your pal Tim.
And if you want to support the show, support our sponsors. Also check out our Patreon at tcgt.com/pledge, where you can find fun bonus episodes like weekly mini episodes of Fast Food Friday, which we're all caught up with now, and you can get all the back ones too. We don't care. Do it. In fact, we insist. And you can also check out tcgt.com/Amazon for all your Amazon shopping. And check out tcgt.com/tour We've got some shows coming up. I'm going to announce it. I'm going to announce the other show.
Are you still talking?
Yes.
I'm looking up the cast of Road Trip.
Why is it taking so long to look them up?
Paulo Costanzo was
Paulo Costanzo.
Yeah, it was
That's
fourth build.
I think you mean Paul Castan.
Mm-hmm.
Paolo, I think you mean.
Paulo Costanzo.
Oh, Rachel's boyfriend from Friends. He was in it.
No, but he was Michael Tribbiani in the show Joey.
Whoa, that's a weird coincidence, huh? Small world. I'm looking up the date. We are coming to
Everybody's still listening.
London. We are coming to London September 15th and 16th. And tickets probably aren't on sale yet, but we are coming to Edinburgh.
No, they are on sale for London.
For London, yes, but Edinburgh tickets aren't on sale yet, but we are coming to Edinburgh.
On
the 13th.
Lucky 13th.
Wednesday, September 13th. So, hey, tell your boss you're going to be sick that day. Or the next day.
The next day.
Yeah. No, the show's at noon. No, the standard showbiz nighttime show.
We are in show business, Tom.
Yeah, so we're excited to be coming back to Edinburgh.
We are. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the news.
That is. That's a very exciting announcement you just made.
Yeah.
Those shows are going to be fun. We're already thinking about them, which is the most forethought we've ever given to a live show.
Yeah, we've already got at least one topic.
Yeah.
And some
And, I got a lot of good bits for that topic.
Yeah.
Bring your
bit watching glasses.
Yeah, and your plastic
Scones.
bags, because most of the bits involve me smashing watermelons.
You never
with
had a
sledgehammer.
scone when we were over in Europe? They were always pushing
I
scones.
don't care about scones.
Pushing scones. Anyway, see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.